Welcome to the Tribes for Home Business podcast, your podcast if you're looking to build more influence, impact, income, and independence using Facebook groups. Hi, I'm Steve Harradine. I'm here joined by my lovely wife, Sam.
Hello.
Say hello. So, guys, what we're here today to talk about is Facebook groups, and we're going to dig a little deep today because today we're going to talk about your message and your mission. And I know for a fact that this is where most people kind of get stuck when it comes to building Facebook groups and to basically build a presence online, to build some sort of authority, some sort of following online, which is really what the game is all about. It's what we're all after. It's becoming somebody who people can get behind and follow as an influential leader online. And I know that can sound scary. Sorry, go on.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say it can sound a little scary, and it can be a lot of the reasons why people don't get this right.
Yeah.
And why people get their Facebook groups and it goes nowhere because they don't get this right at their core element when they're setting something up.
Yeah.
So before you even set a group up, or even if you have a group, if you haven't given this much thought, you are going to struggle. So don't miss this episode. You definitely want to be listening in and just taking some pointers from this because it's going to be a huge reason why your group is going to be a massive success.
Yeah. And we definitely wouldn't say don't go out and create a group if you're not 100%. But what we would say is that if you can get really clear on this early on, you're going to save yourself a lot of aggravation and a lot of hard work that doesn't pay off. And you're just going to have much better results. If you can just spend a bit of time giving this some thought before you go too far down the rabbit hole, it's going to make the whole process a lot easier for you. So it's going to get a little deep. What I don't want anybody to do on this podcast is to get all overwhelmed by this. I don't want you to get, stressed out about it or frustrated.
It's just to have that little thought process behind your group. It's not like, don't spend weeks on this. It's far better to take some imperfect action than to worry about this, because sometimes people can get stuck and think, well, I haven't got it, so I can't do it.
Yep.
You absolutely can. Jump in feet first. And sometimes this can actually evolve over time, but it is a good idea to just give it a little bit of thought because it can help you massively when growing your group.
And I have to say, full disclosure, we did this early on in our groups totally by accident.
Yes, absolutely.
We kind of knew why we wanted to do it. But it wasn't like we had this really clear thought out process. No. We just were, I guess we were fortunate enough to just have the right impulse when we started our first group.
Stumbled along, I think. It did. It actually evolved into something so huge that we didn't even intend it to be in the beginning. But looking back now, if we had to do it again, I would definitely do it with a purpose and a mission in mind.
Yeah,
it just so happens. And I think it happens to a lot of people. They stumble around and it just comes together in that way.
Yeah.
But it is something to just think about.
So let's break this down. Let's have a quick dig into this. What does it mean to have a purpose or a mission? Because if you're listening to this and you're kind of scratching your head going, well, I don't really know what my mission is. You do have one. You probably just haven't identified it yet. And it's not going to be that hard to kind of peel back the layers and discover what that is for you. And once you have it, that then becomes like your mantra. That becomes what you go out and talk about to your audience, which also helps with all your content where you're coming up with stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. It makes everything so much easier. Once you've got that in mind, your mission and your purpose, everything fits into place then, making your life as a content producer 100% easier. Yeah,
absolutely. So, let's go back a bit in time. Let's rewind to our first Facebook group. Now, we were in a different niche to what we're in now. We were in the home decor, shabby chic niche. And when we started that industry, we initially started our first group. And if you haven't listened to episode 1, we kind of go into that a little bit in detail there. But we started our very first Facebook group really just to keep somebody who was giving us a hard time online at bay.
Which isn't a good mission, really, when you think about it.
That wasn't a noble cause, no.
But it was a knee-jerk reaction, if anything.
But when we started our group, what we knew we wanted to do was we wanted to give other people in that niche somewhere to come and showcase their work. We kind of wanted to elevate the whole shabby chic.
Absolutely. Raise the standards. Raise the game.
We encouraged other people to come in and say, look, show us your projects, show off your work, show us how good you are, share what tips you've got, contribute, do that kind of thing.
It was their platform, wasn't it? It was their home for that niche, for shabby chic. And it became like one of the biggest groups in its time.
Yeah. And I guess if you wanted to put a label on it, what we would now say, looking back on that, is that we tried to elevate the industry of being a furniture upcycler, a shabby chic person. We would talk about the benefits of having older furniture because it was so much sturdier than your modern furniture. It was made well. It had some history, had some character. And that was kind of our mission. It was like giving this old stuff a new lease of life. And people could get behind that because there were a lot of people that felt the same way.
Exactly, yeah. And they were doing the same thing as we were, yeah.
If I go down to this high street store now and buy a wardrobe, it doesn't last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it falls to pieces in 6 months. And that was a big movement, that it was all about the older furniture. It was a massive movement. And everybody wanted to make their furniture look better and prettier. And we were the people who showed up to show them how to do it.
Yeah.
It was part of our mission to help them with the value to do a better job of it. So that was huge for us, wasn't it?
It was.
It was to get behind.
But it became like the de facto group in that niche. Yeah. And it was really because what we didn't do, we didn't just go out and say, well, you should do this. What we did is we went out and we said, you should do this because of this reason, because we believe in this thing. And other people that had the same thing going on in their mind or the same thoughts about it, they said, yeah, you know what, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm really for the old stuff too. And if you want to bring it up to modern day, what we're doing now with Facebook groups is we're not just going out and saying, well, you need to have a Facebook group. What we're saying is you need to have a Facebook group because, right? And we'll recite the story about what happened in our life and we will say you need it because it will give you more influence, impact, income and independence. And it does. It's absolutely true. It absolutely will if you put the energy in. But it's a much more powerful message if you've got a reason why somebody should do whatever it is you're getting them to do. Okay, so that's really the groundwork for it. And this is going to be different for everybody in every niche. So let's give some illustrations and some suggestions, right? So if you were, let's say you have a product and it's based on weight loss. I'm literally pulling this out of the air. As Frank Kern would say, this is an arbitrary rectal extraction.
Yes, I like that.
In other words, I'm pulling out of my ass. So this is basically like if you're into weight loss, for example, you wouldn't just go out and say, I've got a weight loss product. It's really, really cool because it's got this ingredient and that ingredient and you should buy it. What you would do is if you have a great story around why you realized you had to lose weight, you can use that story. You could go out and say, you know what, I was obese. I would get out of breath walking up the stairs. I knew that if I didn't do something, I wasn't going to be around for my grandkids. I knew I needed to lose weight. I couldn't do the things I used to do like 3 years, 5 years ago. So I knew I was in trouble. And I feel so much better now that I've lost that weight. And I want to help as many people as possible to lose that weight too. Because I know the benefits on the other side. So you can
get behind that, can't they? Because
you've now got a mission, haven't you? You've now got
in the same situation.
Exactly. And people will look at that and go, I can relate to that. I know I need to lose weight myself. Yep, that sounds cool. Or you could use the angle that you're out to change the world and stop people from being obese and wake them up to the realities of the junk food that's clogging their arteries and killing them early and causing them their health issues. It's an angle.
It's an angle to go at. It's like we've been interviewing some people with some amazing tribes over the last few weeks inside our Facebook group. And they have amazing causes. We spoke to Leona Burton, who is the co-founder of Mums in Business Association.
Yep.
And her core mission was to bring mums together who were starting their own businesses because there was no support for them out there. Mm-hmm. And there was nothing where they could come together and meet up each month and get together, because a lot of mums at home with businesses on their own are on their own, literally. So they created this safe place where they could physically meet up in person as well as online. And that's now become a worldwide mission that has the group at its core.
Yeah. And the thing is, you like when we were interviewing Leona, you could just tell like the passion.
Oh, yeah.
She's on fire for it. She can get behind the calls. She's got this thing going on and she's out to make this big impact and make this big difference by doing what she does, which is using the Mums in Business Association Facebook group.
Totally.
And again, mention another great interview that we just did. It was actually yesterday.
Yeah.
We spoke to Fraser Brooks. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Fraser, but
I'm sure people are,
I'm sure you probably are. Huge in the network marketing space. He is the network ninja. Lovely, lovely guy. But as we're talking, we did. As we're talking to Fraser, his mission is to raise the standards inside of network marketing. He's not just out there going, buy my product, or, I can do this, I can do that. He's out there, and his mission is to raise the standard of the industry, to teach people a more professional way of doing things.
Runs through everything he teaches. Every piece of content is all about raising the standards. It's not about being spammy. It's not about the old ways that don't work. Everything about him is that, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's his core mission.
Absolutely. And it shows in what he puts out.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why he's got a huge tribe following him.
Yeah.
That's why he's got the following he has.
Yeah.
Because people can get behind what he's all about. And that is it.
Honestly, this one thing that we're talking about right now, I know this can seem deep. I know this can be a little bit daunting, and there is some thought that needs to go into this. But if you can get this right, this is the difference between generating a huge following of people and just kind of going out into the wilderness and being one voice.
Yeah.
Really, that's the difference. Yeah. Because people, they kind of latch on to other people based on their worldview. Like if you've got a belief in something and other people can see that because you're out there talking about it, you're on fire, you've got this mission, this thing that you want to create. When people can see what you're for and what you're against, they can say, you know what, I'm either for or against it too. And if they're for it, they'll generally become your biggest advocates.
Forever.
Yeah.
They'll stick with you like glue, won't they?
Yeah.
And if they're not for it, that's totally fine as well, because they're never going to be part of your tribe.
Yeah.
They're never going to be your people, and that's totally fine. On Facebook alone, we've got at the moment, 2.5 billion people.
Yeah, something like that right now.
There's going to be some people who you don't vibe with. There's going to be people who aren't on your mission or just not you. And that's fine.
But that's like you say, that's okay. Those aren't the people that you're trying to attract. No. You're only looking to attract the people that belong in your tribe.
Exactly.
There are millions of other tribes out there, and that's fine. They need to exist. They can't all be in your group. So
could you imagine the admin headache of everybody being in your group? No, you don't want that.
No, you don't. You want the people that vibe with your message. But the problem is not enough people have a message. What most people do is they'll go out and lead with a product, or they'll go out and say, I'm in this company. Would you like to join me? There's nothing behind it. There's no reason to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And people are only interested initially in what's in it for them.
I'm just going to say, if you stick around for any of these podcasts for any longer than today, you're going to hear us say this a lot. What's in it for me? With them, it's huge. And I think if we can get inside our customer and our audience's minds and always have that in mind, always remember what's in it for me, it's going to make our life a lot easier as a marketer.
Definitely.
And definitely for our groups. Because if you've got a weight loss product and say, come and join my group for this weight loss product, there's a million other people doing that. Why would I join your group? I don't know anything about your weight loss product. I don't know what it can do for me. Am I going to join another group for that?
Why do I need it?
No, exactly.
Why do I need it?
What's in it for me? Not a lot at this stage. I'm clearing off.
I'll recite a great little illustration that I heard, because I think it kind of nails the point down really, really well. And this is about giving people a reason to take an action, giving people a reason to come into your group. It's like if you decided that you were going to lose weight and you went to a fitness instructor, like a PT instructor, and he said, you know what, I'm going to run some tests on you, and okay, your triglycerides are way up, your blood pressure's way up. There are things that I can do. I'm trained in this, I'm trained in that. I've got this certification, that certification. I'm the best in the business, and, pay me £5,000, and, we'll get to work.
Yeah.
And then you went to the next guy, and that guy said, let me do some tests on you. Okay, I've run some tests. You know what? If you don't do something in 5 years, there's an 80% chance you're going to have a heart attack. Yeah. And you're going to suffer with high blood pressure. And you're probably in the next year going to get type 2 diabetes. What's more compelling? Who would you give the money to?
Oh, the second guy all day long.
Because there's a reason why. It's not, you don't care about the guy's certification and all the certificates in the world don't mean a thing. It's like, I can give you this result.
Exactly.
Here's why you should do it. This is the big difference.
Here's my money. Show me how to do it. It's far more compelling. Far more compelling. Yeah, absolutely. I love that story.
You've got to have a reason for people to do stuff with you. You've got to have a reason why they would join your tribe. What do you stand for? What do you stand against? And it can be just something that happened in your life. There's usually, if we wind back as to, I mean, let's say you are in the health industry. Let's say
can I just say we're not in that MLM.
No, we're not.
Just in case anybody thinks we're pushing that, we're not in that MLM at all.
No, but let's say you are. Usually, not in every case, but usually you can wind it back to a certain something that happened in your life that made you decide to take that route.
To do the thing.
It's like, I needed to lose weight, so I went and got the thing, and now I'm fit and healthy, or whatever it is for you. But tell that story. Give people the reason to join you. Go on a mission to make people, or to strive for the thing that you're striving for. Because that's a movement. Once you create a movement, so much more powerful than just going out and saying, I've got a Facebook group.
Yeah. Do you want to join? No,
Exactly.
not really. Yeah. Guys, don't let this ever stop you, okay? If you're not quite sure, don't let it stop you. And if you are having a little bit of a struggle and you're not quite sure, come over to our group, Tribes for Home Business, and go just post in there, because there's so many people in there. At the moment, we're nearly at 4,000 members who will help you, who will just chat to you about it. We're in there. Steve and I are in there as well. So you can get some bounce ideas off of other people about all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can get some more help over there. But don't let it stop you what you're doing. If you're sitting there thinking, I'm really not sure, keep doing what you're doing. You've got to keep going out there with your group, but it's just something to think about to make your message stronger.
Yeah. And if you don't have it yet, please don't think, I can't do anything until I get this amazing message.
No.
It's not compelling enough. Take the action anyway. But what we're saying is, if you over time can develop your message, it will make your marketing and your group so much more powerful, because people will have a reason to follow you.
Definitely.
And that there's very little actually that's stronger than that, because once people have bonded to your message, once people have bonded to you, it virtually makes all your competition irrelevant.
And we are living proof of that, because people who have been with us since our very first tribe have actually come over with us into a completely new niche. We've been teaching and training on Facebook groups now for over 3 years. We were in our other niche nearly 8 years ago.
Yep.
And there was some crossover, because what happened, we realized that people wanted and needed to learn more about Facebook groups, and they saw us having amazing success with it. So we started teaching it. That's how this all came about, didn't it?
Yeah,
they wanted
exactly.
to know. So we started teaching, and we thought, hang on a minute, there's something in this. People actually need and want to know. And that's how we came into this niche. And honestly, it's been my passion for 8 years, and it's just flourished.
Yeah.
Absolutely flourished. But it's just getting behind that cause for other people to just be there with you and follow you forever.
They want to be led.
Yeah.
They want to join a movement of some kind. They just need somebody to show up and lead them. And I have to say, if you're sitting on the other side of this and you're kind of thinking to yourself, I haven't got success, I can't seem to get people to engage, I can't get people to, really get involved in what I'm doing, this is probably why. It's probably because you haven't got a strong enough why inside of your messaging.
Yeah.
Why should people follow you? What's the reason why you do what you do? And once you can make that clear, once you come out and say, this is why I do this, like for us, we had a horrible time and we started a Facebook group, and the Facebook group went on to solve all those problems and deliver a ton of extra benefits that we didn't expect on top of that. And ever since that day, we have never not had a Facebook group.
Nearly 8 years now.
Yeah, we've always had Facebook groups on the go. So to us, that's very personal. There was an impactful event that happened, and we are going out and preaching about the benefits of that.
Yeah.
Doing that
because
stuff.
we know the power of it and how it's going to help you guys.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. And if you don't believe us, go and listen to Mark Zuckerberg. He's telling you, he's laying it down.
But
pick it up and walk away with it and do this.
But this is the difference. We don't go out and talk about the minutiae of, this is how you set up a group. This is the box that you click. I mean, we do. In our VIP group, we talk about that stuff. We show people how to do it. We actually do have a free course that will teach you how to do that. But when we're coming onto events like this, doing podcasts and videos, we don't come out and say, here's all the nitty gritty about how to set up a Facebook group. Here's the ingredients. What we talk about is, here's why you need one. Here's why they're awesome. Here's why they're brilliant. Here's why you should really get invested in building your tribe. because that's a war cry.
Yeah.
That's something people can get behind.
People don't care about clicking the button. We can't go out there and say, let's all click this button in our Facebook group. It's like, yeah, and what? But when you come out with this is why you need that, this is what it's going to do for you, and this is how it's going to change your life, that, like you say, is a war cry. It's a mission that people can get behind. So, yes, and if you are in our free group, come over and tell us about your mission. Tell us about your reason why. We would love to know more about why you do what you do. Because for us, this is what we love, and we love to hear from you guys, and just come and tell us.
Yeah.
Tribes for Home Business on Facebook. Yes.
Yeah, go on Facebook, search Tribes for Home Business, you'll find us. And if you do need a bit of help setting your Facebook group up in the meantime, don't forget to go and grab our free download. You'll find it at 20grouptips.com. That's the number 20grouptips.com. And that's basically our top 20 tips that we've used and tried and tested over years of doing this stuff that we're giving away to you guys so you can go and do it in your business. I think that's pretty much all we need to cover today.
I think so. And we can't wait to hear from you. Come over and tell us, because I would love to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'd love to get your comments. Please let us know what you think. And let us know what you think of the podcast. Is this helpful? Have you got value from this? We certainly hope that you have. And if nothing else, we hope it will just give you something to think about. And if you need some help, then get in touch with us through the group or connect with us on Facebook. So, we're back again next week. We've got another podcast lined up for you guys. I hope you got value from this. We're going to sign off now and say goodbye. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.